Have you seen the movie Ex Machina?
Mm-hmm.
Before I ask why I'm asking this, what do you think about it? I loved it.
I loved it too. I don't really remember it that well, but what about it?
The Turing Test is obviously a big part of the movie. You have this android woman who, maybe she's not an android. Is an android just a robot?
Yeah.
Okay, cyborg is mixed.
Yeah.
An android, and then...
I remember the basic plot.
Yeah.
She pretends to be somebody she's not, and then she manages to kill the guy.
Right. So she passes the Turing Test.
Yeah.
And the question that I have is whether or not you think that your blockhead, I think the answer is yes, could be rigged up and expanded in such a way that it could be an android among us and we would not be able to tell.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I think I mentioned that in one of the articles I wrote about it. Yeah, the same technique would work for an android too. Of course, we're talking about something as big as the solar system.
Okay, could you just briefly explain how this would work? Because it has got to be for most of our listeners to imagine that there could be a robot, that you could be a robot talking to me, we could be having this conversation, you're not controlled remote by the real Ned Block, but you could be totally unintelligent.
So the blockhead, as I described it, depends on there being a finite set of strings of letters that can be typed in an hour. It's that finiteness that allows a response to be given to each one. But of course, if you have a quantized robot with quantized sense organs and quantized behavior, so that it moves in tiny little jerks, which need not be something people could see, then the same finiteness assumption works for a robot. So as long as it's finite, the same thought experiment works. Of course, it gets more and more impossible in the sense that the number of possibilities goes way, way up. And
Right, so maybe to try to make it a bit more concrete, we can imagine this committee of scientists and writers and just experts on human behavior.
Yeah.
They're given all of this data that a human-like creature could take in, such as visual data, audio data, olfactory data.
And they're coming up with responses that the machine would make in that case.
And then they're plugging it all into this solar system-sized machine.
Right, exactly.
And okay, so maybe there's a wormhole connecting in the center of you. But okay.
I mean, look, to make it so that it could possibly work, one thought experiment would be that you discover that there is a kind of matter that's infinitely divisible. And so you could fit a lot of bits in a very small space.
Yeah.